Alright guys, if you felt drawn to this video, it's for a reason. You've probably been spinning around and around in your head on the decision of whether or not this is for your highest good, whether or not you should let this go or keep this in your life for the upcoming new year. So I'm going to pull two cards. I'm going to pull one card for what the energy of what's going to happen if you stay, and another card for the energy of if you leave. So not telling you if you should stay or go or not, but I'll tell you what will happen. Alright, so if you're unsure, I hope this will help you to decide. The first card that fell out here, we have Ace of Plastics in reverse. So the reason why you're feeling called to leave is because you feel so out of place, right? All the people around you, the environment around you, it doesn't align. It doesn't align with your true self, your authentic core beliefs and values. It's like, right, what is fate versus destiny, that type of thing, where you're living the life that other people expected you to live, and you're awakening more and more to the fact that I was people pleasing, basically, and that I wasn't being my authentic self because, survival mechanisms, right? We're growing into an age where we realize that a lot of the things that we were doing, that we identified as, was because of survival. It's not because it's our true interest or values. Yeah, and so I think they're calling you to accept more and more of those signs that you see, to trust your intuition, because there is a reason that you feel that way, right? It doesn't mean that you did anything wrong or that you failed or you're on the wrong path. It just means that you're being redirected into a new stage in your life, a new era in your life, right? There was a point in time where these survival coping mechanisms, they did serve you. You needed to blend and fit in, right? You needed to become part of the plastics, even though you totally felt like an outsider the entire time, but now it's time to realize, or to tell yourself, that you are safe. You are safe just by yourself. Like, you don't need the big posse around you, right? You don't need the clique. You don't need the plastics around you to make you feel like you're doing well in life, right? So it's like re-identifying yourself, right? Like letting go of all the things that you don't feel like aligns anymore. And so it's like ego death, right? The death of your old identity, and sort of just rewriting your new identity, your true identity, into who it is that you really want to be. Because we can be whoever we want to be, and we can change who we want to be. We can change who we are at any moment in time. What was a quote that I heard the other day? Like, yesterday or last year or whatever would have been the perfect time to have changed, right? Or that moment, that big mistake that you're regretting, or that choice that you regret making, right? Like, it would have been perfect if you didn't make that choice, right? And it may be true that, like, yeah, things would have been so much better for you. Your life would have been so much better if you started and dedicating and investing more in yourself and your authentic values like 10 years ago. Yeah, for sure, right? If you had a stable upbringing in childhood, you would have had a better start in life, and you would have been thriving by now, right? All of that is true. But to use that as a reason to feel helpless and hopeless, and to tell yourself that it's too late for yourself, is an illusion. Right? Because what's the second best time? The second best time is now, right? And it could be 5 minutes after you just made the worst decision of your life, right? It's like, it doesn't matter when you decide to change. All that matters is the consistency, the commitment. 444 on the clock. It is never too late to change the direction of your life. That's really what you need to hear, I believe. So that's the first card for if you just stay where you are. So I gave you a little bit of guidance with that card, but since this card is supposed to really indicate what happens when you stay on the current path, stay on your current energies, it's just telling you that you're right now the current energies is like not listening to your intuition, not trusting your intuition. That's why I gave the guidance of, like, you can still turn all of this around, right? And here's how, right? By only doing things, believing things, talking to yourself and others in a way that aligns with who you truly want to be in life. And who you truly want to be, and you got to ask yourself, if you remove the judgments, right, the perception, the expectations of others, and if you're just purely doing something because you enjoy doing it, you feel empowered doing it, then that's how you know that is authentic, right? And so right now the current energies are sort of like ignoring the authenticity for the sake of people pleasing. And so that's why it's so important to, if you want to change directions, if you don't want to stay stuck in an environment that you feel like you have to wear a mask in, right? Like you're plastic, where you feel like you have so much more substance, so to speak, right? Like these people around you are not vibrating on the same vibration, the frequency. So it's like you're not even able to really see each other. You feel so unseen, right? And that's how you're gonna feel if you still stay in this current energies of people pleasing. So should I stay or should I go? It's that's up to you. But if you stay, it's right? You're not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to be satisfied, and you already know this because this is already how you feel, right? And if you want to feel differently, if you want to change your reality, like everything needs to be done differently. Everything needs to be thought of and talked to differently, all right? So that's how it's like you already know how things are going to go if you stay, right? Because you've already experienced the cycle. You've already been in a cycle of like toxic interactions, I feel like. So this is confirmation that we really do hope that things will change. If we really do hope things will change, even if we hold on to something, we hope that it could still change. If you don't have to exactly let it go, but a lot of the time, more often than not, we do. More often than not, we do need a complete severance of like the siphoning of our energy for the other person to wake up and realize that like, hey, this doesn't serve me. Or like, hey, I should have been valuing this person this whole time. Like, I was a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect the other person to wake up to the fact that they're the problem when you enable them by continuing to give them access to your energy, even though they don't treat you in the way that you deserve, even though they don't see you, make you feel loved and heard and emotionally safe. And that's the kicker here, right? We don't feel like we fit in because we don't feel emotionally safe with the people around us, right? So we know that the energies are toxic. There's just a hope that like things could change even if we stay, right? And so if you stay, it's not really going to change is what I feel like. Yeah, let's get a card for confirmation. Let's get a card for confirmation or to expand. If you stay, will things change or not? You got Thunderbolt in reverse. This is basically, to me, this is like the Tower moment. The Tower moment is like the catalyst card in the tarot deck. And so, right, it's like the bringer of change, right? So if you stay on the current path, nothing is going to change. This is confirmation that you're going to stay stuck in this cycle. As much as you try to change all of these other little things within the cycle will rinse and repeat. Or it could upgrade into a new version of the cycle, but nonetheless, you'd still be stuck in this cycle in an environment that is not fully fulfilling. All right, and so, I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do, but this is what happens when you do. It's just not going to change, right? And so we have to want the change. We have to ask ourselves, am I ready? Do I really want it? How bad do I really want it? Because if we want a different reality, we have to change everything, basically. Unfortunately, we have to change everything, get out of our comfort zone. I mean, not change everything, gradual changes, of course. Gradual changes that you're comfortable with, but, if you want a drastic change in your reality, right, drastic changes have to be made. That's what I mean. Okay, so now I'm going to pull the second card for what is energy is going to be like if you change direction and if you cut off, right, leave behind what it is, that is no longer serving you. All right, second card for what's going to happen when you leave. What's going to happen when you choose yourself? 11:44 on the clock. Yes. All right. You go, Glenn, go. I love that. It's like the universe is going to be rewarding you for choosing yourself. This is like the highest form of vibration, right? People say that truth and authenticity is a higher frequency than love itself. But I really think that truth, authenticity is the embodiment of love. So in the end, it all comes down to self-love. And because you're truly, when you choose yourself, you truly embody that. You don't just know that that's best for you. You embody it. The universe reflects that to you because the universe is only a reflection of our own beliefs, right? Our own beliefs and values, right? You have to believe that you're worthy, and you only really have the motivation to consistently go after your dream reality when you feel like you're worthy. So this is a big message or a big priority and focus in 2026. It is building the foundation of self-worth so that you no longer feel like, you have to fit yourself in, right? And be below the plastics and be like, am I good enough now that I'm more and more like you guys? You know what I mean? Wow, that was so perfect. That card was like right on the bottom of the deck. I was looking for the first card that we pulled, but of course I shuffled it, but that ended up being more perfectly serendipitous. How awesome is that? Yes. All right. So it's like because you know that you're a queen or a king, because I'm just talking about energy, because you know that you have inherent value just from being born of the divine, just from being you, just from sharing your authentic light. The universe is going to bring to you experiences and connections that reflect that to you. right? And you're only experiencing those limiting beliefs and those like toxic environments and realities beforehand because, right, we were still stuck in that survival mindset of like, this is what we have to do to survive. And so like, this is all that we accept, right? This is all that we truly feel that we're worthy to work towards, right? We don't have the motivation to work towards something when we feel like we're unworthy deep down. Right, and it's one thing to believe it, another thing to embody it, right? So it's natural, right? Forgive yourself for going through this stage, or you have to feel, not you have to, it's more like it's very, very natural. It's a natural part of the healing journey to first understand, to go through the stage of like, I know that this is better for me, but like, why can't I? Why am I still stuck? Why don't I choose better? Why am I still making the same, choosing what's familiar, right? These same toxic patterns, right? And it's like, you needed to go through that to learn more and more about yourself, to learn more and more about where it was coming from that made you feel the need to do so, right? To put yourself below and feel so inferior to everyone around you and feel like you have to put on a mask, right? And it's because you didn't trust yourself. It's because you didn't trust the people around you, right? Like I said earlier, you never felt emotionally safe in the environment that you grew up in the environment that you're currently in. You never felt emotionally safe. And this stunts our growth so much more than we know. But with the rise of mental health, as a society, we're more and more coming to an awakened awareness of how important mental health is. And that's why more and more of the collective is coming to this awareness, right? The movement of self-love, right? And spirituality is becoming so much more popular or mainstream these days, right? And like, that's so cool. That was a sign of collective healing and awakening. Right, but it first comes with understanding and forgiving the shadow aspects of ourselves, so that the light aspects of ourselves can be seen. It can feel safe enough to come out. Right, so it's time to trust yourself. It's that, like, you weren't able to do that before, that's okay. But now when you have people who like come and try to put you down and make you feel like you're inferior, you're no longer going to put that mask on it and play in that subservient sort of less than role anymore, right? You're just gonna walk away. You're just gonna walk away now.
And none for Gretchen Wieners. Bye.
Because you know that you know your worth. You know that you deserve respect. You're gonna set down those boundaries, and you're not gonna let people walk all over you anymore, right? Because you gain confidence. Because you gain confidence from walking away. That's what choosing yourself does. That in and of itself is you're setting the foundation already. All right. So it's like as soon as you choose it. Even though it may be sad, to have to leave behind the people that you wanted to take with you, that you wanted so badly to fit in with, right? It's like it's a bittersweet. It's a little bit bittersweet. But you have to trust yourself that you are able to get through it, even if you don't have the people around you, even if you haven't found your soul tribe yet, right? Like just know that trust yourself in the universe, that you have the discernment to walk away from toxic people, and you have the awareness of what a toxic environment can look like, feel like, and sound like now, and you can trust yourself to only give access to your energy to the right people, to the people who really see you, to the people who value you, to the people who you resonate with, right? And they see you and who support you and encourage you, right? And you'll just go, you go Glen Coco, you know. Right, because when there's a lack of self-love, when you're just thinking about having to survive, you attract other people who are also in the same mindset of survival. And those are the types of people who either just try to take advantage, who are very jealous and insecure themselves. And everybody's just sort of like, oh, well, using each other, you know, like, what can you give me? What can I get from you? Instead of forming like genuine connections. So when you choose yourself, you're going to align with people who do the same. And so you're not going to meet people, or maybe you are going to meet people, but you're not going to let them in your life anymore. You're not going to give them your energy anymore. You know, people who make you feel inferior, people who make you feel like you have to earn their love and respect. No, not anymore. Right? Because you already know it's inherent. You already know you don't need anybody to tell you or to validate or to acknowledge even that you are that bitch. Right? And so therefore you're going to attract people who are already looking at you like, she is that bitch. She is her. He is he. You know, oh, that's him. You know? Yeah. So, you know, again, not to tell you what to do, but you can already see just how much clearer, how much more happiness and fulfillment and joy and creation and possibilities, expansiveness is in the reality in where you choose yourself. Does it have to mean that you walk away from the situation completely? I pulled this card for confirmation. Nothingness. Okay, so I pulled this card to also expand on the nothingness, because, right, like, nothingness, I don't know, it could go either way because it's so, like, giving nothing, right? So now we have control to go with it. So I feel like, right, the question was to confirm if it's really true that, like, do you have to totally walk away from this person or this situation in order to, you know, walk into this reality, this dream reality, and to create a dream reality? And the answer is nothingness and control. I feel like maybe you don't have to. Maybe you don't have to completely cut this thing out of your life. But you know what you do have to do is to set these specific boundaries and not go down on it, not go back on these boundaries. You could keep these people in your life. You could still do this thing or stay in this environment, right? But the main factor is you have to maintain those boundaries. And if the people around you, if the environment is like it's still pushing you, you still feel all that pressure to have to, like, or disrespect in passing those boundaries, not listening and seeing or respecting those, then you know that you have to walk away, right? That you have to continue to choose yourself. Right, so yeah, with control being upright, like it's like telling me, like, control in a positive way, and that's why it came up to me as boundaries, right? Like, you need to stay firm, stand your ground, 10 toes down in your boundaries. So if you do choose to stay and still hope that things will change, focus on yourself. Don't center whatever the situation or this other person could be, right? And start centering yourself, your joy, your purpose, what it is that makes you feel fulfilled and proud of yourself, your journey, and what it is that makes you feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to do in this life. I'm like, this is me, you know, like, this feels right. Like, for me, it's reading the tarot cards, because, like, every time I do a reading, I'm reminded of how beautiful life is, of how connected to the divine that I am. And this is what helps me to get through my darkest of times. And that's why it gives me so much passion to, like, to do tarot for other people, so that it could help to do the same for them, and be healing in some form or way. Right, because this is something that I feel like I'm good at, right? But it's not just doing something that you feel like you're good at. It's doing something that brings you joy, whether or not it's going to bring you success, whether or not the people around you are going to be proud of what you do or not, right? Then if the answer is still yes, I still love what I do, then that is a passion, that is a calling that you're being called to set a boundary in. Like, I need to make time for this. I deserve to prioritize this. I deserve to invest in this, in myself, right? And never let, no matter what anybody else is going through, pull you away from prioritizing that. All right, so that's the message for you today. And I feel like that message was for me too. That's beautiful. So 2026, we're going to choose ourselves, and we're going to center our own joy. We're going to center our own purpose every single day. Make it a daily practice, whatever that may look like to you. Meditation, journaling, right? It doesn't really matter what the practice is. What matters is how you feel. What matters is, do you feel empowered? Do you feel seen, heard, safe? Right? And then if you do, then you know that this is in alignment with your highest good. This is in alignment with your authenticity. All right. So that's the message for today. Choose yourself, and happiness, success, abundance is guaranteed. Ashe. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you want to book a personal reading, you can visit my website in the link in the
description.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.